Live.
We live?
Probably. Let's have a look. I'm gonna just check real quick. It looks like. Yeah, we are. We're live. I'm just gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it this time. So you said this in this. It's gonna work. It's definitely gonna work. Someone in the chat, let me know. Let us know if this works. Good. Yeah, see, I just got a notification. I'm live on what's the name? Working. Oh, gee. There goes my computer. Let me know. So you said there was a... Fuck, I hate talking innuendo and stuff for YouTube. There was a shooting, I'm just going to say it. Where in Jacksonville, did you say?
There's a couple of them, but the main one, I guess, is Jacksonville. They already have the main narrative planted, which is always racism. It's always racism, and it's always August or September.
Yeah, and they've all got this stuff pre-canned already. Has your YouTube been doing this? Like where it just hangs and doesn't load? Like, this won't matter how many resources my computer's using up. It just like gets to here, then it hangs.
No, I've not seen that happen yet today.
It doesn't do it on any of my like iOS devices. It's been doing it on. This is a brand new machine, and this is what happens. But if I do this, and just go in a new tab, that'll.
Oh.
It's yeah.
Sometimes it happens if you have too many cookies in your like browser history.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Just when you thought...
Oh, no, we're not getting into that.
Not right now.
Not right now. That's a close one. See, I don't know.
That's for a month or two from now.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, maybe I won't be able to talk about it on here at all. Maybe it'll be a real exclusive.
There you go.
Which one should we go for? 2 hours ago? Let's just do the top one. I don't know anything about this yet. Tell me what you know before we hit play.
I just know apparently this white dude had a bunch of I don't even know what I can say.
Just
had
say
a bunch
it.
of symbols, a bunch of Nazi symbols on his AK, ran into a Dollar General, killed 3 black people, and then himself.
Wow.
All randomly, all of a sudden. They say that there's a manifesto, but as we know, they usually don't come out with the manifesto so quick, or at least acknowledge it. So I know the police chief has already went out there and did like a press conference. I think there's like a 10-minute press conference with that dude also.
It sounds pretty pre-canned to me, bro. Like I don't know. They've got the Nazi symbols stuff going on. I don't know who does that actually. Like how many people actually do that for real these days?
It's a lot of effort to go to, and it's a terrible thing to do to a beautiful weapon. That's to be true.
What are they doing? Come on, man.
There's also a shooting at a Chicago White Sox game, professional baseball game that just happened too at the stadium.
At the stadium. Okay, I'll check that one out next. So this is all on the same day.
Yeah. I'm not hearing any audio.
Yeah, because it's hold on. It's been
a number of fatalities. That's according to Jacksonville Mayor.
Can you hear that now?
She was on that scene at Kings Road and Canal Street near the Dollar General.
Don't know why that does that. Hold on. I don't know why that happens.
Do you have to like stop presenting the screen and then present it again or something?
I'll try that.
So StreamYard makes you do that all the time. It's really annoying.
Yeah, this is Video Ninja. Share system audio. There's a checkbox.
That's that little checkbox. Yeah.
Oh my god. I hate that.
I remember these days when you're just getting started. They were a lot of fun. Those are the best.
I had tech the other week, and like half the stuff we were talking about wasn't on the screen, and I could see it, he could see it, but none of the audience can see it. I was going to edit it back in post, but fuck it, no one's even watched that. So let's start again now that you hear this. Hopefully.
Break news now out of
There we go.
shooting there on the city's west side has now resulted in, quote, a number of fatalities. That's according to Jacksonville Mayor Donna Diga. She was on that scene at Kings Road and Canal Street near a Dollar General store. And SWAT is on that scene. As you can see, there are heavy police presence. It all started around 1 this afternoon. And a nearby college campus also issued a campus-wide stay-in-place order as a result of all this. We're still waiting for an update on how many people were injured or killed and info on the shooter. But there were reports that the shooter barricaded themselves inside the dollar store. 5 years ago to the day, the city was rocked by another shooting. A gunman shot 13 people, killing two of them before turning the gun on himself during a video tournament. Of course, stick with us.
I remember that.
Video game. What did he lose? Is he real like game rage?
I think it was like Madden or something. It wasn't even a good game. It was like he got really... And I thought it was weird that DeSantis already had a statement too. He's already released a statement on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody's on the ball. He denounced racism too.
Oh, this guy's turning out to be super swampy.
He's so bad. Yeah, he's such bad news. And now they're trying to claim he's like slightly autistic, whatever he doesn't do.
Yeah, he possibly is, but that doesn't mean he's not. Sure, like great. But I mean, so am I, but I'm not president. Wouldn't expect you to.
I saw it on X.
Oh, okay. This is always dangerous.
Yeah. But like I said, there's 3 shootings that are high profile. They hit like a big city, a medium-sized city, and a small city. I just think it's very, I don't know. It's interesting timing.
Just wake up. Yeah, it seems a little bit strange timing. What do they all have manifestos?
Right. Well, the other one in Chicago is probably just gang stuff.
They're actively monitoring. When was this?
Oh, I thought I saw it.
2019.
I'm gonna just go to my Twitter. I'm still on your camera, but I'm just searching on my end. Let me see.
Yeah, good. I'm just gonna. This is super riveting for people to watch. I know, but this is just a chill stream.
Oh, here we go. Try looking at Marina Medvin, or just type in DeSantis Jacksonville. You should be able to find a 45-second video. Unless I can send you a link in the chat here.
Possibly. I mean, there is a chat thing there, but
yeah, we'll try it out if we can't find it on your. There it is.
Oh, here we go.
In Jacksonville with able to speak.
Now. Did you see all the mannerisms and stuff he was trying to, like the faces he was trying to pull? I'm going to go to them after the debate where he just thought, like you could see in his eyes where he realised he thought, yeah, that really landed. He's really impressed with himself.
He's like, nailed it.
Yeah. You can read it on his face, man.
This fucker's like Forrest Gump. He just finds himself at certain moments in history and he don't know why.
I think he shouldn't run, man. He shouldn't have run. He's really like he should have waited. But anyway,
in Jacksonville about the horrific shooting that took place. The shooting based on the manifesto that they discovered.
Oh, hey, there's somebody in the chat saying that you're echoing. I don't know if that's still true. You don't sound like you're echoing to me, though.
No, do you know what it would be? It'd be that. Am I still echoing now? I think what was happening is there was a, because if I'm doing them on my own, I usually just record straight through the mic into OBS, but because I'm hosting, it goes through the Video Ninja and then back through OBS. But then it had 2 sources for me there. I think that might be why.
Yeah, they're saying all sound.
That's great. We'll give it a minute. No, it says no, you're good, because I think it takes about 20 seconds to sort of update. Let's just keep going. It's recorded anyway, so I'm just gonna keep playing. Let me know in the chat if it's still shitty.
Was racially motivated. He was targeting people based on their race. That is totally unacceptable. This guy killed himself rather than face the music and accept.
In Minecraft for YouTube, he did it in Minecraft.
God.
Is everyone still using that?
Responsibility for his actions. So he took the coward's way out, but we condemn what happened in the strongest possible terms. We've offered support for Sheriff Waters of the city of Jacksonville.
I'm already bored. I don't need to hear the rest. He's so boring, man. Like, who could have thought? Like, because he was so beloved, like 5 minutes ago.
Well, the more he was just out in the public eye, people realized he was just piggybacking off of Trump. Like, if Trump isn't in the limelight, like he rises when Trump's popular and they're getting along. But if they're not getting along,
they're not getting along. It didn't work out. Like for a while now, they haven't been getting along.
Yeah, it's over. He's dead in the water.
He should have.
Vivek is just there to be like RFK Jr., the RFK Jr.
He definitely wants a cabinet spot, but I don't like Vivek. I mean, it's interesting.
He'll likely get a cabinet spot too because he's WEF affiliated.
Problem is Trump just picks really shit. But yeah, I know that's the other thing. But well, okay. So I was looking at the WEF thing with Vivek last night, and according to him, and according to apparently the public record, which I haven't thoroughly checked myself, but it does appear that he had sued the World Economic Forum for putting him on that list, and he won. He won that suit, and he set somewhat of a precedent for that. So now, when the world, his argument was that he didn't give approval for the World Economic Forum to list him as a young leader or whatever it was that they listed him on. That, you know how the young aspiring leaders or some shit, put him on that list, and he asked them several times politely to take it off, he said, and they didn't, and he sued them, and he won, and he got quite a big payout for it, and apparently he donated that. Now, I can't verify that because I haven't looked into it. This was at like 3 a.m. I was looking at this on ChatGPT. But
that's so fishy to me. How do you sue the WEF, get paid by them, and live to talk about it? How do you not get Epstein or something? You know,
well,
the WEF.
Well, he's just also started a new company called Strive Asset Management, and it's his. So they say put Tulsi on that list too. Yeah, they did. Oh, they put Tulsi on the list too. Yeah, they did.
Pedro Gonzalez. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people on that list. Maybe not Pedro Gonzalez, but I keep kind of conflating the WEF and the Claremont and Cato Institutes, but there's a lot of these weird think tanks that are all adjacent to each
foreign
other.
Relations, and everyone's like, I don't know. There's a lot of 3-letter groups out there that people don't know what.
So creepy.
Yeah, they're very creepy, and they've got a lot of reach over a lot of countries. But yeah, like they say, Tulsi's on the list too. There's a heap of people. I don't know. She could have again been one of those people that didn't give permission. I don't know. I don't really know. I kind of like Tulsi. I want to like Tulsi, but people don't. People really don't want to like her.
What is she doing now? Is she like a talking head for CNN?
Not so much anymore. I mean, I haven't really seen her much. I think she said a little bit about like Maui and the hyena, you know, like because it burnt down. But of course she would, because she's from there.
That shit is crazy, dude. I'm losing my mind trying to dig into that story.
Yeah, I was in a Twitter space about. Okay, so Magoo says she didn't give permission either, so she could potentially. Okay, Magoo says he said part of the settlement was that they can't put people on their website anymore without their permission. Yeah, exactly. So she didn't give her permission. So I wonder, has she been pulled off?
Isn't there like a? Oh, does the WEF just come up with these titles for certain people they like, or is there a program? Because I'm guessing if there's like a young leaders and it's capitalized on their site, I thought they had to go through like a forum or like a training.
I would have thought so too. I would have thought so too, but the same thing at the same time, like I can also definitely see them just randomly picking people because that would be their way of sort of getting people in the fold, you know? Like, why wouldn't like just shower people with accolades and bring them in the fold because they might be none the wiser to their nefarious ways. So like let's name Justin Trudeau, or Castro, whatever his name is, and like let's name, you know, all these Vivek Ramaswamy and see what happens if they come under our wing and see what they do for us. But Vivek, he started this new company in 2022 called Strive Asset Management. And I was just looking at it last night, and I've been getting GPT-4 to do a lot of my stuff lately because I paid the fee. So I wanted just to see what it would do, how effective it was at farming information.
Mm-hmm.
I think it picked up that I probably would never have noticed is that when I asked it for Strive Asset Management and anything to do with Vivek and Strive Asset Management and ESG specifically, because at one point the idea of Strive Asset Management was to compete with the BlackRocks and all of that with their environmental, social, what's it called? Environmental, social governance.
Social governance, yeah.
And then there was a specific part of their website on Strive Asset Management that went into that sort of initiative is gone. Arrow 404. So when it does say like the GPT, it's interesting what the GPT says. It was like, oh yeah, there does appear to have been a page about ESG, but they've moved it, suggesting that they're no longer focusing on. What does it say? I think it saves all of my chats here.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I've been investing again lately, and I've been disaster investing. That's what my friend Mars Bars calls it. He called me George Soros the other day. For the
is this like for liquidating? For companies that are going under?
Well, I'm keeping an eye on like a Hawaiian electric company because they're getting ready to be sued by Maui County for their failure during this wildfire, but it's plummeting right now. I mean, and it's heading towards like $9 a stock.
I mean, this is a legitimate thing to do. People do this. If you don't do it, someone else will be doing it.
Exactly. Strive.
So yeah, right here, lack of ESG focus. Interestingly, there was a mention of an article that titled "The ESG Reset" on Strive's website, but the page was not found, suggesting that the firm may not be heavily focused on ESG.
I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, me too. Because like, I just go to here and it's like,
Dunzos.
So like, he can't talk it. There's no mention of anything on Strive with ESG anymore. So I wonder what the difference between these guys and BlackRock is at all anymore. Probably none.
I don't see anybody competing with Vanguard or BlackRock or Slate Street. It's kind of over.
Don't they all own each other? Yeah, I mean they all own each other anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a rigged game. The ETFs, like whenever you go to your 401k in the United States, you get a list of like 50 to 100 ETFs that are Vanguard, BlackRock, Slate Street, JP Morgan. Those are basically the ETFs that exist here for our pensions.
Yeah, I mean, like, what don't they own?
Or IRAs, I guess. There's a difference, but...
Excuse me. Anyway, that's that.
I've been getting interested in finances again because I think shit's going to hit the fan this winter.
Absolutely, it's going to hit the fan because you know what they're bringing back.
Oh, Covfefe.
Covfefe, it's coming back.
I can't wait, dude. It's going to be so much fun not doing shit and saving money.
I don't know if I can say this, but Alex Jones was right. Sorry,
Again.
YouTube. He was. So
my buddy and I were talking about Alex the other day. We were like, we're starting to play with the idea that he could truly be a CIA asset, but also always right. Like, what if he's like the polar like attraction for the opposition, right? The generalized opposition in the United States, and you keep everybody in this same little chamber of the internet that follows Alex Jones.
Isn't that like the same? Isn't this the same sort of theory that's going around about Trump at the moment? I haven't looked into it, but I've heard on the fringes that there's this theory that Trump's working secretly for Democrats.
That would be awesome. Just the maniacal part of me would be like, damn, that'd be good. I've heard such things.
I haven't
at the beginning.
I
At the
haven't heard people
beginning, it
flesh
could
that out
really
yet.
be argued that Hillary and the Democrats did actually set up Trump to win, and it just backfired on them. I believe that is true. In 2016, him going on the Saturday Night Live sketches and killing it, I just thought that was very.
But why
It's
would
a
they?
very
Why would they?
bizarre.
Why would they set him up to win though?
They didn't think that they thought
Just so
Hillary
they
and them
could
were
have an
so
unlit.
arrogant.
So they could, because they thought he was like impossible to lose against. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
So they prop him up so that it was a shoe-in for Hillary Clinton, and didn't work out, did it?
It says something's up with now.
Something free Jerry? Surely not. What?
Hold on, my output destination kind of changed on me for some reason. Microphone should be good.
You're coming through on me, on my end.
All right. Sometimes it's the user error too, so sometimes maybe I should pay attention. This is supposed to come in my bathroom. Well, no, it's just a small apartment.
Do you know? It might be just like it might be just the room quality. It just sometimes it fluctuates a bit. It goes a bit weird. I don't know. I'm thinking this is what you get for free shit, but it works pretty good. Video Ninja seems to work pretty well for free. Like,
yeah, I'm guessing it's an online studio, browser based.
Yeah, it's all it's browser based completely, but you can save all your settings, and then like you modify the links so it gives you a bunch of invite links and stuff, but you can modify it so that it's not because what it'll do is it'll generate this link for you every time, but it'll be like a different hash code in there. So if you accidentally drop out, I'd have to send you a different invite link again for you to come back. But I've modified it in such a way that that link will work. Even if you drop out again, you can click it again and you'll pop straight back into the screen. So you just got to be a little bit clever with the links, and then you can get it to work quite well. But,
do you ever use OBS Studio?
That's what I'm using now, yeah.
Oh, you're using OBS and
so like OBS is the desktop client that I'm using to bring all the scenes in together. All the scenes are built there, but the guest sharing portal is Video Ninja. So that's so what you can see on your screen is probably just black and a couple of squares, but on my end it's like I've got a bit of pictures and there's a frame around this and shit.
Okay, so I was wondering how to do this on OBS actually. So now I know.
Yeah. Video Ninja. I can show you like offline after the thing.
StreamYard's getting a little bit better, but it's fucking expensive.
That's what I mean. It's so expensive because like, and look, to their credit, when I win, and people see me whinging a lot on Twitter, I'm gonna tell you right now, it works. I'm sorry, like it actually works. The amount of free shit and discounts that I've got.
Oh yeah.
From whinging on Twitter, the whole reason I opened the account was because Donald Trump was still tweeting back then, and which he is apparently again now. Although I don't think he's going. I think he's just going to leave it at that. But so I signed up to read his tweets because they were hilarious and to scream at banks and shit, and it works. Like it actually works. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, StreamYard actually, because I was complaining that everything in Australian dollars costs like double after you pay the exchange rate, then the exchange fee is stupid, and some of these places don't even have the same pricing model. They'll have a different like pricing model for each country. But StreamYard did offer me a discount on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. But I never looked into it. I never took them up on it because I just wasn't prepared to even pay even $1 for it. Like I can do it for free. I can do it for free. Why would I pay you at all? You know what I mean?
It's only useful for me now whenever I have Mars bars on my show. Otherwise, when I'm rocking it solo, I don't have a use for it.
Yeah, like when you're on your own, you don't need the use for it. In fact, like it's disadvantages you, like it wrecks the sound quality and shit because you're having to tunnel through another service and then come back to your machine again, as opposed to like just mic straight into your machine.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, what else is new? Other than
we should look at those other shootings really quick.
yeah, that's what we were looking at, weren't we?
I think there's video footage of if you search for Choctaw, Oklahoma.
How do I spell that?
It's a CHOCTAW.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's OH, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Or
Is
you're
it
sorry. It's
okay or
okay.
okay?
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, Ohio is OH, isn't it?
Yes. Oklahoma's not too far from here. We border Oklahoma for about 90 miles or something. Oh yeah, there you go.
Top one?
Yeah. I guess that was yesterday. It's kind of crazy to watch all the kids and everybody at the stadium just dash. It's chaotic.
This is so frustrating how they do this. Now it's not work. Oh, wait. I need to go like this. It's not loading anyway. Oh, fucking.
So this is from Squirtle TV. Mark Rogers was there broadcasting live at the game on to Squirtle TV, .tv through the sports animal. We're not going to play the audio, but you see people running. You see players taking off.
Oh, okay.
And they'll pan across. And in just a moment, you'll start to see some people, they look to just be laying down on the field. Some people are just taking off, and others, they're just perhaps taking cover there. They're laying down on the field. I believe Mark was there on the home side from the press box.
Yeah, in Albuquerque, some of the worst shit happens at football games.
Hold on, Is this what I think it looks like? No, the people are just ducking, right?
I think some are ducking, but I wonder if people further in the background, if some of them got hit, though. Like, you can't tell. It's a very strange video.
Yeah, I'm glad we can't tell because for the sake of YouTube, I don't want to get it removed. But, because at first they're all running, it just looks like a normal game, right?
Yeah.
If there's no audio, it's like, yeah, great, people running on a field, but all of a sudden, no, actually they're all running in one direction, like all of them. And
looks like there's like a kickoff or something, and then there's shots.
If we go back, like it just looks, you can see them
through the sports animal. We're not going to play the audio, but you see people running. You see players taking off.
Then running away from
and they'll pan across. And in just a moment, you'll start to see some people, they look to just be laying down on the field. Some people are just taking off, and others, they're just perhaps taking cover there, just laying down on the field. I believe Mark was there on the home side from the press box where he was broadcasting, and he said that the shot fired sounded like from the opposite side of the field. That's what I understood from what he was saying. Again, this was about an hour ago, and you saw just how quickly this happened. And
just the wide variety of reactions you see.
Yes.
It's interesting. I don't know. This one guy was just sort of strolling his way along like nothing had happened.
He's chill. He's like, this is just another day.
Yeah, like if you go back, let's have a look at him. Let's go back. Yeah, there he is. Let's watch him just sort of casually while everyone
from the press box where he was broadcasting, and he said that the shot fired sounded like from the opposite side of the field. That's what I understood from what he was saying. Again, this was about an hour ago, and you saw just how quickly this happened.
It's not funny at all. It's devastating. Okay, everyone, it's devastating. This is definitely real, and I don't know who wrote the manifesto, but it's devastating and racist.
There's no crisis actors. Adam Lanza is not David Hogg, even though they look exactly alike.
Oh, the video's echoing. Christ.
Damn it.
Hold on, let me try something for a second.
And just the wide variety of reactions you see.
Okay, all right.
In the near bleachers.
What about
here.
that? Is the video echoing now?
Staying down. And at one point, the stadium announcer says over the loudspeaker, "Everybody get down." It was an actual thing that was said.
by the PA announcer there at the stadium. So when they run across, right about now is when you start hearing even more gunshots. And when you hear more gunshots, that's when people
I'm going to put in the gunshots for you.
started laying down in the middle of the field trying to make themselves as small as possible. Round of gunshots that you could hear. And at that point, it was when Mark on the broadcast.
It's terribly
goddamn
tragic, and I'm not
zone.
making light of death.
This must be what Ukraine looks like right now. Just like this.
Yeah, with all of the green grass.
And very little casualties, probably, because it's a virtual war. It's a war on our minds.
Well, we didn't see much there. So, what? There's 2 shootings that we know of.
I think I tried to send one in the chat, but if you go
Did
to
ya?
X again, I
Yeah,
found
there is
that
a little chat here.
there's a video of like somebody getting shot at the White Sox game, apparently, in the middle of a baseball game.
So this is
Wait.
from Squirtle TV. Mark Rogers was there broadcasting live at the game on to Squirtle TV, .tv through the sports animal. We're not going to play the audio, but you see people running.
Hold on.
You see players taking off.
That's the same audio from that
and
other
they'll
clip.
pan across.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, it is.
Does this have any audio? It doesn't.
I guess not.
I'm just seeing like
People walking. You're not seeing anybody run yet. They're saying somebody in the top part of the stands.
Oh, okay. The top part. I'm looking up
Right.
here somewhere.
If we can't see it, maybe we'll read the tweet and they'll tell us.
Yeah, I don't think then there's like literally nothing. There's nothing
That's
here.
so funny.
2 people were hit.
Just
Like,
left
one
of dead
target.
center field.
What's just the left? Okay. What's just left of dead center, directly above the right edge? Okay.
Of the
what?
State Farm.
Oh, State Farm ad on the wall. Okay.
How does somebody get? That's
So,
right
like,
there.
somewhere along here.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything.
Man, Chicago's wild.
Chicago's pretty rough, like, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically the murder capital. If you,
Yeah, I was invited to go there for a bunch of times.
if you take away the murders from like LA, Chicago, and New York, our murder rate would cut by more than half in the United States.
Yeah, it's like they've got a higher murder capital than any other city combined, right?
Yeah.
Or major
on.
city, at least. I don't think there's anything happening here. This is a waste of airtime.
Weird.
Sorry, Chris Gray. Chris Gray, excuse me. So we've had a couple of what's going on here?
Fucking grifty. Did he make that?
I don't know.
Does he make memes or just repost them?
I think if I just repost them, but you just found I just found it. The watermark is still there from a meme smith named Happy Toast. Not sure of the handle though.
I feel bad for Giuliani. Kinda.
Yeah, he's I think he's fucking losing it, man.
Well, they're trying to kill him, obviously. Like, they won't let him alone. Remember when
Yeah,
Ollie G
true.
came for him? Remember when he tried to get him?
What's that?
Ollie G or Sacha Baron Cohen? He had
About
this
that?
he had a sketch show like a few years ago called This Is America. And they tried to set up Rudy Giuliani with this young girl that they were pretending was underage, and they took a clip of him like tucking in his shirt or just his
Yeah,
belt.
I saw a clip of that, and I saw people because I saw the debunking of it.
Yeah, it was totally debunked. But
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
just such a
100%
shitty thing to do.
Yeah, it was a
something.
really shitty thing to do. Which is a shame because like I used to enjoy some of those films. Like they were a bit far over the edge. Like a lot of the times you'd have to skip the chapter, but like They were still pretty funny, but then you sort of it's annoying. Like in this age of Trump, ever since 2016, like all of our entertainment and stuff, everything that we used to get out, all the stuff we used to love in pop culture has like revealed their deep affiliations with like the political class, and it's just like it's just really disheartening and like really I don't know. I haven't watched any like proper mainstream production of any sort, like whether it be news or movies or anything like that in years, like years and years, because like I could just get everything off the internet now because it's all bullshit. It's all infused with some sort of ESG woke messaging. It's all got some sort of,
The fact that people can't correlate Trump derangement syndrome with the fall of Hollywood and like everything that used to be good about like TV news or anything, it just shows that
it's definitely hand in hand. Like there's no way that it's not connected. You can't say it's not connected, and he's not the cause. He's the symptom.
You know what I think is really funny, and I seem to have like a minority view take on this, but everybody's taking victory laps over Target, Disney, and Bud Light, like wokeism and shit right now. I'm like, well, who do you think's snatching up those shares of the stocks you just cratered? Like, do you think Disney's going anywhere? Do you think Target's going anywhere with their mass like cybersecurity firm contracts? Like Target's like a testing ground in the United States now for like some crazy AI shit. And people aren't even aware.
What AI? You mean like the checkouts and stuff?
Like video cameras, AI checkouts. There's militarized police at most Targets now, or like security.
I think we might even have like completely staffless like Aldi stores here now.
Yeah, in Minnesota, which is like the headquarters in Minneapolis, I think at one of their major Targets, they have like crazy shit going on. If you remember, that was the headquarters of the riots too.
Or it might be a McDonald's. I know there's definitely McDonald's going on.
Oh yeah, McDonald's. There's like 2 people working at McDonald's now.
Yeah, in the whole world.
Yeah, in the whole world.
Yeah,
that's why they make $30 an hour now. It's like what? It's because they're running 5 robots.
You have to give you the keys.
Somebody's got to smack these robots and keep them in line. Jam. This picture's funny. Let's see. There's Bane. There's Penguin. There's a Conehead. There's a Catwoman.
Yeah, well, I love that Jenna Ellis. She just like she smiled.
It's like Midsummer. They got her like the Midsummer bitch or something with the flowers in her hair. Is that what that's supposed to be?
I'm guessing so. Yeah, like, and what's he? He's a Conehead. This guy's still in jail, isn't he? The only black guy.
Why is Byron Gaines on there from Fresh and Fit? Why is he there with the Conehead? Oh, that's not him.
No. That's the guy. That's this guy who's still in jail.
I know. I'm making a joke. He looks like the guy from Fresh and Fit, though.
Oh, are you wrong? Are you? Not wrong, actually, are you?
Kind of like ambiguous black Arabic, like could be Ethiopian, could be black.
I've been ignoring the chat. Sorry. I just want to check. Does anyone else know if this guy, what's his name? Harrison Floyd?
That's George Floyd's uncle.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, Harrison Floyd. Let's just assume he's not a relation.
I thought that today. I was like, wait a minute.
A second. Yeah, that's just no. I mean, it's just a name.
It's just a name.
Like this was a day ago. So I know Luma was still tweeting out about it that he was still.
I don't know how I feel about Laura Loomer. She's a very
neither do I,
woman.
But she's interesting nonetheless. That's why I decided to follow her closely because she's going to become an interesting figure in the coming months, leading up to the election. And she's going to be interesting in terms because she can rattle off stuff like really powerfully and quickly. Now, whether you have, oh no, Amagoose says he's still in jail. That's fucking unbelievable. The only black guy, of course.
Man, Democrats
isn't it like the
want us
worst?
back on the plantation.
Isn't it the worst jail like around? Like, isn't it super filthy and dangerous? Don't heaps of people die there?
People don't want to be in jail in Fulton County. No, like Atlanta, it's basically Atlanta. You don't want to be in jail in Atlanta. Period. Although since he's Trump related, he's probably running the jail though. It's
Yeah,
probably
I
like
know,
Stringer Bell from The Wire right now.
I guess, but you know, if it's, they said some
He'll
attorneys.
he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering why he's the only one that if they posted for every single other person. What I think Trump should have done is says, I'm not posting until everyone else is out of here. And that way they would have had to shut the entire complex down and kick everyone out except for them. Because the Secret Service has to assume control of the facility at that point.
Did you see his motorcade go through the hood, the black hood, and everybody was out there cheering him, Trump, after he left? That was pretty good.
No, I didn't see that, but I did see.
Yeah.
I did see some guy with a shirt that I can't say. I can't say it.
Oh, N words for Trump. Ninjas for Trump. Oh, it was so good. That guy
And
was
they're like,
awesome.
"What's your name?" He's like, "I'm for Trump."
Yeah. And his wife was just laughing in the background.
Can I bring it up though? I can't bring it up because I'm white.
No, just don't say it. You can, yeah, you can bring it up.
Can I bring it up?
Yeah, you can't say it.
Then I'd have to talk.
I say the N word on my stream, but I'm an animal. And my coworkers don't know I podcast at my
I don't know what this is going to do to my tweet cred. Did you know that you see how they unveiled that all that code and stuff? So then they've got that system called tweet cred, and so like if you're interacting with like dirty people that they consider dirty anyway,
undesirables.
What are they called? What are fucking deplorables? Listless vessels.
Basket of deplorables.
Yeah. Hey, what is this fucking listless vessels? What did that come from? Where is that? Is that DeSantis quote? Is that
you know what's funny? Oh, calling DeSantis a listless vessel. Who called him that?
No, isn't that what he referred to like certain people? Isn't that his Hillary Clinton moment? Where did this listless vessels thing come from?
I don't know. That's weird. That's a weird statement. That guy's weirdo.
The goose says they have some attorneys come forward to help him, but it will take at least 3 days. Why is it going to take 3 days for him when they can post bond for everyone else on the same day? I don't understand that. No one's giving me any.
Maybe he was late. Maybe he got arrested late.
3 days late?
After hours, and then now there's nobody to see him to get out, so now he has to stay in jail.
15 people have died in that jail in the past year. 15.
It was COVID, Magoose.
What's that?
I said it was COVID that killed those people, not the jail. Just going with the main narrative.
Yeah, it could have been.
Actually, they marked it as COVID, even if they were murders.
Yeah. DeSantis called Trump supporters listless vessels. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he didn't call beforehand to work out bail preparations with Fannie Willis, is it? Okay.
Dude, she used to have sex with a bunch of mid-tier rappers before
Fannie Willis?
DA. Yeah, dude, she used to be a big old hoe.
Really?
Yep, that's the word on the street. That's what Don Lucre's been saying. She's ugly too. She must be dirty to be able to hang around those rappers.
See how this little
What is that? Is that like a bot running for you?
Yeah. Wait, what happened?
Magoo says it was gang members and not rappers, but same.
Oh, okay. Here she is. Fannie Willis.
She looks like what they would call a bottom bitch. Okay, that's what the term is.
What
She's
was
one
Fannie
who-
Wheeler's career before she became a district attorney? Before becoming a district attorney, Fannie Wheeler served as an assistant director. But what about before that?
Yeah, what about you? What about the dirty stuff?
Let's continue in
Chat.
chat.
Do you subscribe to this? Chat
Yeah.
GPT?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
GPT-4 is actually pretty cool because you get these plugins. Let me show you. You get these plugins that now there's a plugin store. So like you can add Wolfram Alpha, Video Insights, all sorts of different stuff. There's one here that you can use for like generating the perfect prompts for Midjourney, of Midjourney, like the AI art thing. So like if you can't get Midjourney to produce the image that you want, you can get this to create the perfect prompt that will just get you a better result. There's also
That's so
another one
cool.
here that has like, US federal law, so you can look up different parts. Like so I asked just this morning, use the plugin to search details on whether a former president can still hold office if he or she has been convicted of a crime. And it came up with all of these answers referring to these articles and sections, but says the US Constitution specifies the qualifications for becoming president, but does not explicitly state whether a former president who has been convicted of a crime cannot hold office again. So it doesn't seem like there is any hard and fast rules about this.
Dude, we've had like presidents and vice presidents and shit murder each other and stuff back in the day, man. The United States used to be based.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking also, just when it comes to all of these laws, they've become sort of so increasingly irrelevant when it comes to this guy and anyone around this guy. Like, for example, this bird shouldn't even be here. She was just his lawyer. She shouldn't be. I don't even know who these other people are.
There's one guy that got arrested who's actually from New Mexico, John Eastman, and he's kind of like he's kind of a big power player. I think he got educated. I don't know if it was the Claremont Institute or Cato, one of those same places, but he's connected to some think tank. This guy in the bottom left corner. One more over.
Oh, this guy, the Casper.
Yeah, he's a very wealthy and in tune individual. He's the one who put forward the theory that we could recall the state electors, the vice president could, and they could redo the election. That's where that whole theory started. And it's not like a bad legal theory.
The theory that Pence could do.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
That's the thing about what they did. It's just that like what they did was not in itself illegal. It's just like was a legal gray area, and the Democrats just weaponized it.
The other thing is, I also asked. I was looking this up the other day. That technically the president doesn't have to have a VP. He doesn't have to have it. All of those. For example, I think it was Harry Truman for his second term didn't have a VP, because he chose to run without one. There was various different reasons why he didn't have one, but one of the major reasons was his own decision.
He was a very interesting figure. He's one of the few presidents that just completely dipped out of politics and just never got involved again after it happened.
Well, didn't also James Carter do the same thing?
James Carter kind of supported the Clintons early on, and
Did he?
I don't know. I think he's a little bit more in tune than people like to think. They think of him as a good guy. I don't necessarily.
I don't know enough about him to sort of say, but I heard that he went on to a bunch of philanthropic efforts after his presidency and actually did eradicate a number of diseases and shit.
Like Bill Gates or something.
Like what?
Like Bill Gates or Bill Clinton. I hate whenever I hear about philanthropic endeavors now. It's just a massive red flag. Like the Obama Foundation
right?
in Hawaii with FEMA right now, there is so much happening on the ground there, and I wish I could. Man, I wish I could figure it out. I want to go out
Well,
there.
no one can really figure it out. When it was all going down, like we were talking, I was in a Twitter space, an X space, what the fuck they're going to call them now, with the locals. I don't think they were in Lahaina, but they were from Lahaina. I don't know, but they were on the ground there anyway, and they were super duper angry that we were talking about directed energy weapons and space lasers and all sorts of stuff. They didn't want to hear any of it. And so, like, even when it came down to talking about what the government's done wrong, they didn't want to hear it. They were just getting so angry at people. They were getting really, really upset. They're like, we don't want to hear this. It's not what we need right now. But it's like, at a certain point, if you're going to refuse to listen to any of those sorts of things, and I'm not saying it was a DEW. I'm not saying it was any of that. But if you're not going to have a genuine look at government malfeasance or the potentiality of government malfeasance, then you are doomed. As a state that overwhelmingly voted for Biden in every single county, only 3 other states did that. Oh, 2 other states did that. It was Hawaii, Massachusetts, and somewhere else, I think. But I can't remember. Yeah, 3 of them. Only 3 in the whole country that every single county voted overwhelmingly for Biden. So
There's a lot of welfare on that island. That's one part of it. And another thing is there's tribal land, or they get a little bit of tribal protections under ICWA too, I think. Or they might even have their own status. But what the idea I've been playing with the Maui fires is that I heard in Greece that they've arrested a whole bunch of arsonists in their recent wildfires. I'm starting to play with the idea that this is like some kind of like not necessarily planned arson event, but you remember when Antifa was kind of setting fires in Northern California and Oregon a few years ago?
yeah.
And we know they're worldwide, these black bloc organizations. I'm just wondering, like, what if some Antifa fuckers started it? Because if you follow Nick Sorter on X, who's been really breaking that story, there's like a weird like Antifa looking dude who comes up behind him and harasses him when he was talking to Steve Bannon.
Yeah, that was
and that's
creepy. Exactly what we were talking about in the space, actually.
That is like Antifa tactics. Like I got harassed by Antifa in Albuquerque, and that's exactly what
here it is right here. And he was on the War Room with Steve Bannon at the time.
Yes, it is. Yes, that was one of the questions that
I'm trying to get him on my show.
Buffering.
It'd be really cool.
He's a young guy. I'm sure he would. Like, but it seems like he's kind of tied up.
He's getting a lot of requests. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why that's not loading.
Yeah, he said he would come on, but it's been a couple of days since he got back. Look at this crackhead.
I'm trying to reach you. I'm reaching out to you on X.
Look at the way you like.
That's what they do. They try to look so mentally ill that you get scared, just like they do with.
I think he is mentally ill though. Like you'd have to be something screw loose to do like that. I've been reaching out to you on X. So I thought I'd just come up to you while you're on a fucking camera and live TV because I want the attention now. That's exactly what that is. But
so you're seeing this live right now. People actually tracked me down.
And you were staying in a tent. You said you were coming and staying in a tent, Nick. You're taking up resources.
I'm not taking up any resources here. People.
So this guy here is some little dick squeeze. He's come from like California probably because he doesn't look like a local at all.
Right.
And he's complaining about this guy taking up resources in like a place like I think an hour or 45 minutes away from Lahaina, like outside of the danger zones. So and he said he was going to book a tent. He was going to stay in a tent if there was nothing else like available for him because he didn't want to take up resources for the people in the disaster zone. And that's exactly how he did. But it's just got lost in translation. And this little fucker here from California, this little import, came over and decided that I'll get my 15 minutes of fame. But then people are referring
staying in like luxury villas right now for like discount rates. like super nice hotels.
Are they staying at discount rates, or is it because of what I
Yeah.
heard is what they do is they come in and they set up camp because it's like a major disaster. They set up like almost semi-permanent installations there, and that brings in a need for all of these staff. And then so the staff end up leasing out the local property at extortionate rates to a point where the locals can't afford their own properties anymore. And then everyone gets just like shoved out of Lahaina or Maui altogether.
I just think it's fascinating. Not one celebrity's estate got burned down by accident. Like, how is this island arranged? You know, I'm very curious to see how the property is set up.
Yeah, they're all talking about this like they were saying like all of these different variables had to be lined up together. The wind had to be blowing in a certain direction. There had to be enough dryness here, and there had to be, I don't know. They say like 5 or 6 different little variables had to line up. It was like a Swiss cheese moment when when all the holes line up at once.
Just line up, God.
But I don't know. People aren't buying that. People that are not there aren't buying that. But the people that are there, they're like, no, fuck you. You wouldn't know how it works. We're from Lahaina. We're Lahaina locals. We tell you how it works here. And it's like, no one tells us how it works here. It's our place. It's our land. And it's like, okay, all right. It wasn't by the other way. Did it get lost in translation that these? Because I heard that people were talking about Jewish space lanes.
That's Kanye. That's like, yay, baby. He brought that into the common world.
Are you sure, or is that because they just got confused between like DEW, directed energy weapon?
Well, we all know.
Which phonetically sounds like DEW.
It's all the same, different. You know who runs the space lasers, okay? We know who runs the dues. I can't wait for Ye's new single called Space Lasers.
Space Lasers.
You know he's rumored to be coming out with an album soon. That's been reported a little bit. That would be the thing we need this year. That's the only thing that can make this right.
It's going to make it all right.
Like I said, it's been burning.
You know his girlfriend's name right now?
Hey.
Translates from Italian to white sensors directly.
Whoa.
It's creepy, huh?
Well, sorry. But what translates to white sensors?
So Ye's current girlfriend, Bianca Censori translates to white sensors.
I've never even heard her name before, but yeah, right. That's interesting.
Mars Bars thinks she's CIA and she might be a man, but
it's not even a real name.
He thinks every woman is a man now in the news on Twitter. Ever since Big Mike.
Did you know that 700 gallons of diesel fuel was spilled in the hills of Maui, and to further complicate the issue, the mayor is covering up the number of dead being found.
Oh yeah, we still don't know how many are dead.
Yeah, well, see,
it's been updated by 5. It's been updated from like 106 to 110.
That's not reasonable. Like, there were 1,000 people missing on the day of that Twitter space that I was in.
I've heard 2/3 of them are children too.
Yeah, and because there was no alarms that went off, and they're like, oh no, well, we don't want to sound the alarm off because that's usually used for tsunamis, which would have sent people up the hill. But it's like,
so dumb.
Apparently that turned out not to be the case. Like, they used it for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, I don't. After a certain point, I think in a natural catastrophe, people stop listening to sirens. They do the thing that's most likely to save their life, regardless of the drill. That's my honest opinion. It's like at school. Like when a fire happens, do you think that I was going to follow the school's plan for a fire drill if there's a fire at my school? Fuck no. I'm going to go off by myself as soon as I can and get away from the group. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah, it depends how well organized your school is. Like, yeah. You gotta just hope that there's a definite
Like
master
if there's a
plan
school
and stuff.
shooting, like I'm not going to be locking myself in the school, hiding under the
No,
desk.
I think
I'm
if-
running.
I mean, I can't really. I'm not gonna. But if it was me, I would just be run. I'd just be looking for an exit and running and just trying to make it out. Like,
Hell yeah.
Nick Soda apparently got arrested. Is that true?
Yeah,
I can't tell. That's on Truth
that was
Social.
I think that was before that last clip we saw, but he kind of just gets like bullied and pushed by the police. It was kind of crazy. And how about the police chief being the coroner and the former incident commander during the Vegas shooting? A little bit sus? Just a little bit?
What?
Yeah, he used to be the Vegas shooting incident commander when that went down. He left his job in 2021, and now he's the coroner and police chief.
The coroner, as in inspecting unalive
He's going to certify
people.
the deaths. He's going to certify the deaths.
What?
Yeah,
How do you
just
what?
like Vegas.
I thought that'd be like a sort of a specialist position. Like you'd need to sort of kind of know what you're looking
Can't
at.
fly in somebody.
Can't you just fly? I mean,
It's very weird.
that is really weird. I've never heard of that before, man.
That's why I've been getting so many impressions this month, is I've been finding like publicly sourced news clips and like tagging them, posting them, and with my own headline, kind of spinning it. But John Pelletier, I did a couple involving him. He just loves the camera, man. He just keeps looking at that camera right now.
Oh my goose, I'm sorry to miss your comments here. Most likely down power lines that were in desperate need of replacing, and they should have shut the power off due to high winds. BlackRock and Vanguard own majority stake of the power companies, by the way. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Hawaiian Electric is heading towards restructuring, but that's going to bottom out.
And
It's a
apparently
company. It's been around since 1890. It's also been responsible for building out the infrastructures of the Philippines and the Asian Pacific, a lot of other islands. So I highly doubt it's going to go completely under.
Apparently all these like power lines were super old, like dry sticks, and they were like covered in pitch and stuff. So like they just went up like real quick, real easy. But then there was also apparently footage of a guy setting a fire. Has anyone seen that? So no one's seen this footage of a guy that's seen that. So this is the piece of evidence that everyone is pointing to, saying that no, it wasn't anyone else. This was arson by a local or whatever, or they were trying to count all of these conspiracy theories. Admittedly, some of them were a bit strange, but like, what in 2020 isn't fucking strange and not true?
In New Mexico, our largest wildfires in history, I actually got trolled by everybody on Twitter when this first came out. I got ratioed hard for this. I said that our Forest Service caught our forests on fire with a prescribed burn, I bet. I just speculated. I'm like, oh, I bet you we did this. Year and a half later, this year, about a month ago, I was proven correct. It 100% happened. The Forest Service set the own forest on fire because they believe in these prescribed burns that are, in my opinion, a pseudoscience, much like arson fire science.
Yeah, it's not a very sound science. They're very what's the word? I don't know. They're very crude at it. Like it doesn't work. Like obviously, haven't they destroyed like the Yellowstone National Park because of like trying to kill off certain things and then trying to preserve certain things, then trying to burn certain shit, and then trying to keep certain shit, and then all of a sudden all species go missing, and it's like just stop fucking with the environment, man. Like I remember in Australia, I don't know what, it was a couple of years ago now, but we had fires that stretched over like 3 or 4 states. It burnt like it was bigger than the size of Belgium. The skies were red like Venus. It was like for months and months and months we couldn't even see a meter in front of us. It was awful. I think about it. They say about 1 billion animals lost their lives. in that fire.
Well, your birds don't have wings out there for some reason.
No, like koalas and there was birds as well, but koalas, guanas, like all that sort of stuff. You know, like dingoes.
I want to go to Australia so bad one day.
I really want to go to America so bad.
America's You got to go to like small town America. Don't go to the.
Well,
big
that's where
stuff.
I would love to. I'd love to see small town America. I'd love. Well, obviously, you're not going to go to America without seeing, like, at least one big city. But
you have to stop in LA. Or
you have
something.
to stop in either LA or New York, or San Francisco. It's actually from Australia. You have to go to either LAX or SFO. That's the only two I think you can stop at. But
San Francisco, you'll get mugged. It's bad out there. They pay people $80,000 a year to pick up human shit. I'm gonna go grab some coffee real quick. I'll be right back. Isn't that amazing?
What a job. Imagine the recruitment ad for that. Gee. I wonder what else is going on here then. How long will we be live for? Let me read through some of these comments. Sorry, Magoose, I'm not fully ignoring you.
All right. Sorry, I'm back. Nighttime coffee's kind of nice, you know?
I do it all the time because it doesn't really keep me up at all. I'm just reading through some.
I drink on the weekends, you know, so yeah, I prefer day drinking if I can get away with it. Not night drinking.
Alcohol, you mean?
Yeah. And I'm trying to quit beer, dude. I really would like to quit, but
I haven't really drank alcohol for a few years now since I had my heart problems and stuff. I sort of gave it up in my mid-20s anyway because the hangover just got too much. And
it's like that now.
But now I've got all these problems with my chest and heart problems, and I'm on heaps of different pills all the time. So I just don't drink anymore. It's just too much of a risk. I just want to run through some of Magoo's comments. They wouldn't release the water, didn't sound the sirens, and fire department didn't put out the fires all the way or respond at all. Sounds exactly like what the Australian fucking Defence Force did over here. The government isn't letting supplies through unless they bought it. So people are having to jet ski supplies onto the island. It's bullshit. I saw footage of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've actually seen the footage of people doing that. That's definitely true. Well, what appears to be definitely true. Hawaii needs to wake up after this. Will they, though? They voted 75% for Biden. Like every single county. Every single county.
How does New Mexico is getting more and more blue, but where my hometown is from, it leans red. New Mexico is a very weird state because the southern half used to be Confederate and the north side used to be Union, so it's a Civil War split.
They've got a poop app in San Francisco. They've got that for LA too, don't they? Or is it just for the whole California area?
God, it's a shithole, man. California is literally
a shithole. Like, quite literally.
I never want to go. They say San Diego is the only good place left.
San Diego, nice. That's right down near the border, isn't it? No. Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Near Tijuana?
Yeah, a little bit.
We're just
Goose was born in Clovis. He was born in Clovis, New Mexico. I know where that's at.
Oh, right.
That's like a 20,000 person town in New Mexico. Farm country, ranch. Also a lot of meth.
Yeah, same from where I'm from a place where there's a lot of meth. There's about 20 to 40,000 people in that. Well, originally from a town of actually about 800 people, which is just north of this. Yeah, and then there was this regional city that I had to bus to every day for school.
I lived in a town of 800 people. I lived in Loving, New Mexico for a while.
Yeah, right.
People would ride the four-wheelers to school and park them in the parking lot, and they let them.
My mother's still stuck there. It's a fucking horrible place. It's awful. Small towns are disgusting. Like, I mean, they're probably great if you knew there, but if you've grown up there your whole life, they're not good.
My hometown is Carlsbad, New Mexico. You might have heard of the Carlsbad Caverns. It's a giant cave system out here, one of the largest ones, if not the largest ones in the United States. But it's It's better now when I go back when I'm older. When I was younger, I just felt like it was a death trap and I was going to kill myself if I didn't get out.
Yeah, that's how I felt about being in a small town in WA. Well, I say WA, that you guys think it's Washington. For me, that means Western Australia, which is where I'm originally from. It's the most isolated. It's the largest state on Earth. It's bigger than most European countries put together, and
So it's like bigger
It's
than
about
way
a
bigger than
third-
Texas.
way bigger than Texas. It's a third of the
Holy
size of.
shit.
I think it's about 30% of the Australia's land mass, and there's only like 2.5 million people there.
That's pretty crazy.
So it's like, if you look at it, I'll show you. Let's
I mean,
actually,
Mexico's smaller than that. We still have 1.5 million.
let's ask this. Let's ask GPT. How many square? I'll do it in miles for you guys. Is Boston? GPT-4 takes a longer time to respond because it has more. So it's 2.5 million square kilometers for Western Australia. So okay. About Texas. I don't know.
Man, Texas is a fun state. I love going to Texas.
Yeah, so
Oh, so
258,000.
a quarter.
So 200, just under 270,000 square miles. So like several times larger.
Texas has like 40 something million people in it.
Correct. It's got way more people than Australia has in populace, but Australia is literally like, what, 10
That's so
times the size
weird.
of it. Is that right? You're 268,000 to 2,525,000. Yeah, that's like 9 times bigger.
Okay, so here's an Australia question. How desolate are the Aborigine tribes right now? Like, do they are they like modernized, or are some of them really isolated, or how connected is like Australia in terms of that? Like,
It's a tricky topic. It's a sore spot for the Australian conversation. Like, I think the government would like it to be neater than it is. Like, what happened?
have you accidentally came across an Aborigine town driving and shit?
Well, there's fewer and fewer of them around now because the governments, not this current government, but previous governments, back in like 2015 and stuff, they were shutting down all of these rural communities. They were going out there and just like shutting them all down because it was like, well, you're not putting anything economically into Australia, so we're gonna shift you. We're gonna shut all this shit down, and we're gonna force you to move into the city.
Oh shit!
And then what that did was that because they didn't understand the difference between the mobs or the different. We call them mobs. They call them mobs, but they're different tribes, really. And they didn't understand that there was like beef between these things, or at least some differences between them, that cultural differences that had to be reconciled. And so when all these remote communities were forced to come into the city, all of a sudden, literal daylight robbery, and like all sorts of violent crime just went through the roof. Like everywhere, especially in Western Australia, because there was a lot of remote communities in WA that got shut down. So that's one of the reasons why I was just like, I gotta get the fuck out of this state. It's so dangerous.
That's
here.
crazy.
It
That's
was
really
just
interesting that happened recently, because we did that like 150 years ago, right? This is like it happening in real time.
Well, it's forced assimilation, like Magoo says. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Oh, your grandparents lived in Alice Springs for 7 years. That's crazy, because Alice Springs is a very, very interesting place, being right next to Pine Gap. Arguably the US's most, what I call it, the one of the most important pieces of tech that you guys have is built right in the dead center of Australia. And I've actually worked on one of the constellation bases out in Geraldton, where there's like, so they've got Pine Gap in the center of in Australia, and then there's another one in Mentworth Hill in the United Kingdom. And then they're two big brains that listen to this conversation, everything you text, all the stuff that Snowden released in 2012.
Oh, so it's like NSA shit, and
yeah, the NSA uses it. So all the intelligence security agencies use it.
they pass through Pine Gap, like all of the cables, communications through Australia to the rest of the world, basically.
It's either through Pine Gap or Mentworth Hill. So Pine Gap does the southern hemisphere and certain areas of the world, and then Mentworth Hill does the rest. So there's one in Pine Gap is the big base there, and then there's a big base in Mentworth Hill, and then they have constellation bases around them. So there's smaller ones. Shit. There's one right outside my local town where I grew up in Geraldton, and I worked on that base. It was a very fascinating. It was one of my first projects I ever worked on as a design consultant. It was really cool, but it took
like what they did.
Stuff.
Was it at the AT&T building in San Francisco? Is it that the same thing? Like, don't we have a same equivalent to that on our West Coast, or it used to be one building that they all
there's listening points there's listening points everywhere. For example, there's one called Titan Point I think it's in New York, and it's like the AT&T building literally directly down the street from the FBI headquarters. That's a major listening post, but like it's not as elaborate as a base as, like, I'll show you Pine Gap.
What the fuck? This is crazy.
And Mentworth Hill looks almost the same. Where am I going? Where did I do satellite? Why is the internet being so lame? Look how slow that is. I'm on 5G, bruh.
You're using Starlink or what?
No fucking way am I using Starlink. I'm not using any of that Elon shit. It's gay and slow. I don't want slow Starlink.
Did you read that article where they were blaming Elon for the war in Ukraine because of Starlink shutting down Starlink?
Of course they were. Well, first of all, funny. I'll show you the one that I worked on. Page arena. What? This is riveting to watch.
Well, Magoose, I'll have you know, my grandfather worked for the OSS in the United States, which is the precursor to the CIA. I don't know. There's nothing official about him working for the CIA, but I'll just say I can't find his military records under his name that I know him as.
Okay, so here's Gerald, and this is where I went to high school, right? And where I, had my first job and stuff. And then there's Northampton up here a little bit somewhere where I live. That's the town of 800. However, I think I could still find it on the map if I just looked around. There is a little spy base.
Man, you could live out in the middle of nowhere there, get away from everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Here it is. Hold on. Look out for oh, here it is. So I worked on Hurry Up and Sharpen Up. This is all behind the hills, so no one can see it in that. But there's a sign, so people know it's there. So I worked on this whole section there.
Oh,
but these bits are already there. So these are already...
It's all hidden in the trees, too.
Yeah, these domes are just like... That's what's under the domes. The reason for the dome is just so that they don't see what... So that from satellite imagery, you can't see what direction these are pointing in. That's the whole purpose of these domes. Now, you can see how the size of that's just one little what they call the constellation station. Then there's the main one right outside Alice Springs, and I'm just going to have to type it in because I always get lost.
They always give it like a really nice name wherever they put these fucking...
Apparently Pine Gap, they reckon Pine Gap is like the holy grail of posts in the intelligence community. If you get put out here, apparently you're doing really well.
It's kind of like Los Alamos, the United States.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is, and all of these stupid like UFO theories and stuff, how they're saying they're creating like fake EBEs and all that stuff. They're saying, they're saying that they're coming from here and that most of this place is underground, which is true. So there are some really strange places, things about this. Half of this property Australian personnel aren't allowed to go into. Now, what happened is, this is Pine Gap, right outside of Alice Springs, which is like 10 minutes away, just over here. And you'll notice in Alice Springs, where's Alice Springs? Right there. Right there. So it's very, very, very hot in this area. It's not exactly a great place for gardening, but you'll notice that if you go to Alice Springs, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of gardeners. Do you know why? Because they're not actually gardeners. They all work here. And it's true. There's so many gardeners that no one knows. It's like, what the fuck are you all doing?
What are you gardening?
What are you gardening? And it's like, they're actually working here. And when they built this, they didn't even they shipped in concrete from the United States. They ship in food from the United States once a year. They don't buy any of our produce. The buildings were built, majority of the buildings were built out of American materials that was shipped in. And one of the biggest strange anomalies about it is that no one can figure out where it's getting its power supply from. It's not connected to the main power supply at all. It's not connected to any grid. So the suggestion is there's a nuclear reactor somewhere powering this fucking
What?
But we're a nuclear-free country. We're not supposed to have nuclear power here. So now, back in the day, Gough Whitlam, our Prime Minister, went in here. I think it was in the 60s or something. He went in and he demanded to see the sections of Pine Gap that are still to this very day refused entry to Australian personnel, even the highest security clearance, because it's a joint base, joint US-Australian base. The US gets access to all of it. Australia gets access to only parts. Now, the Prime Minister Gough Whitlam said, you give us access to 100% of this facility right now, I'm shutting the whole fucking thing down. And I think it was within a week, he became our first Prime Minister to ever be sacked by the Queen. He was sacked by the Governor General on behalf of the Queen, on behalf of the CIA, who later
Wait, what do you mean the Queen?
The Queen is our head of state. Yeah. Well, she was.
You can fire your government officials?
Yes, because she's our head of state, like
that's
your
real?
president. That's real, yes. So now Charles is
I didn't know that was real. I didn't know the Commonwealth, is that the same for Canada?
Yes. Yeah.
What? They could fire Trudeau if they wanted to?
Yes.
What the fuck?
They never do it, but they have done it one time in Australia. And it was when they did. Now, the story was, there was this double disillusionment and then the government was shut down and no one could get any bills, but they made up all these bullshit stories. But this was the actual truth. The CIA later apologized for it. There's a book written about this called The Falcon and the Snowman. I don't know if anyone's read that or heard of that.
Sounds like a good book.
Yeah. So it's all revealed. So that's Pine Gap. Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that. But
just CIA shit.
Yeah.
Just Australia's CIA shit.
So that's our Area 51. This is our Area 51.
Well, the mountains out here east of Albuquerque, they're filled with nuclear weapons. The military base has underground storage and it's
Albuquerque?
rumored. Yeah.
Isn't that the same as why am I going that way? Isn't that the same as Montana?
No. Montana's way north by Canada.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't Montana also have the same sort of thing?
There's a couple of bases that are NORAD basically bases. I think one's in Colorado. The largest stockpile is supposed to be in Colorado. We're supposed to have the second largest. There's also rumors that there's tunnels that go straight from Albuquerque to the one in Colorado.
Do you ever just go? Do you ever just zoom around? Especially the United States, like Nevada desert and shit, looking for stuff.
Whenever I do true crime episodes, I use Google Earth a lot for crime scenes and stuff, street level views.
Oh no, you come back now.
Oh,
you dropped out for a second. Sorry, you're back now. But
I was saying I use this for like true crime episodes, mainly going on to Google Earth.
one thing I discovered on Google Earth, and I never knew this existed before until I later looked it up and figured out that it had already been discovered. But this is something that I discovered on my own, and it later turned out to be a harp base.
What?
It's part of harp, yeah.
I love how that's real now, and everybody can just admit it.
I know, but this is part of it up here in Exmouth. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And I noticed it because right up at the top, there's this interesting shape. It almost looks like Metatron's cube. There it is.
Oh, it's like a star fort. Do you know about star forts?
There we go. There it is. The Harold E. Holt Naval Station. It's part of HARP. And you're not allowed. People have reports of UFO sightings here. Even Ross Coulthart, the guy who was the one who did David Grush, he's even interviewed people that have seen UFO stuff here. Now, I know it's the red herring, whatever he's been fed is full of shit, but I think Ross Coulthart's a good guy. I think he's got the right intentions. I don't think he's trying to bullshit me. But I think he's been bullshitted a big heap. But this is one thing I discovered on my own. I'm like, oh, man, that's Metatron's cube. That's like a sacred geometric shape. But then I realized it's actually not quite. But it's still, nonetheless, this is being said to have been part of the HARP program for a long time. So that's something I found manually by myself. That's probably the coolest thing I've found on my own. But it wasn't like my discovery or anything. But I love looking in like the Nevada desert because like there's always going to be something.
Nevada's a really empty state too.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why they put a lot of shit there, right? Yeah. Well, and it has to be empty now because of all the nuclear fallout, isn't it?
Nuclear.
Just for the testing they've done there
in Nevada.
Yeah.
I don't think that's.
That
would be the same case for New Mexico too, because we've tested a bunch of nukes out here.
Yeah, right. They've definitely done them here in Australia as well. You can see the sites, but
I think Nevada and New Mexico, a lot of it is federally owned land, so we couldn't like live there if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's federally owned because
they bombed the shit out of it.
They need it for something. Like, there's that, like, when the same thing as the Grand Canyon. Like, when they fucking found that secret chamber inside the Grand Canyon, and then people wanted to go expedite it, then all of a sudden, no. It's off limits to everyone now.
Are you talking about those Egyptian artifacts, allegedly?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, there's photos of them. There's footage of it. Yeah, there's footage of it. I don't know if there's footage of them going through the entrance to the stuff, but there's pictures of the stuff.
Playing devil's advocate, though, couldn't that be something left behind by Spanish conquistadors?
Totally. But I think, I mean, it could have been, but it's just Egyptian.
Maybe it's too. Yeah, I mean, for instance, like one weird thing we find out in New Mexico is you'll find pomegranate trees, and they're not native to New Mexico at all, but the Spanish brought them. It's an Arabic fruit. So I was just wondering, I'm like, well, how far fetched would it be?
Go around everywhere, did they?
They did crazy stuff. Yeah, they were awesome.
A lot of people.
People get really mad here in the United States, and they get, like there's the whole big Native American movement.
That's how. Where is it? And that's how this entire area, like over here, has like normal looking eyes. Anyway, what should we go on to next?
Let's look at Antarctica. Let's look at Antarctica.
How big this?
I can't believe they won't let us go there. I want to go there.
They've done the core samples and stuff, right? But if you go there, you can go to like this spot here or that spot there.
No, I want to go in the middle beyond the ice wall where all the animals are. The jungle.
Well, here's the ice wall right here.
Yeah, I want to go in there. Maybe it's inside the ground. like through.
Christ, if we say too much more, we'll be like this. The next up video is all going to be like flat Earth shit. You know when you leave YouTube running and then you wake up in the morning and it's like some total like nut job trying to convince you that the Earth's flat. And like, oh, let's get onto that,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm asking more and more questions about that every day. Like the UFO stuff, the acknowledgement, so-called acknowledgement, is making me question everything.
Well, it's all gone quiet. It's bullshit.
I don't even know if space is real. I don't know if the Earth is round and flat. I don't know.
It's real, bro. I mean,
you
can look up. You can look up through telescopes and stuff.
Did you see
which I have done before?
Can we look at footage of the Indian moon lander before I go? I'm not getting ready to leave, but do you?
No, that's all right. You can go whenever you need, man.
Did you
watch
this?
Is this recent?
Yeah.
No, what is this recent?
It looks Stanley Kubrick would be proud. Or maybe he wouldn't be proud.
Dude, have you seen do you watch the Y-Files?
No.
It's a YouTube channel, and it's a guy that does all of the conspiracy theories and legends and stuff, but he does so he'll set up the first half as if he's selling this story, and then he'll do the last 20-30% of the episode. He will be like, right, here's how it's wrong and here's where it's possibly correct. And he does it.
Cool.
He's really good, and he won't do any episode unless he can bring something new to it. So it's very exciting when he brings up all these ones called one of the recent ones he did was Stanley Kubrick faking the moon landing, and it was a massively popular episode because there was a lot of stuff that came from that I then used in my last episode with Game Tech Politics. That there was this guy called Charles Wolfe. Sergeant Charles Wolfe, was it Carl Wolfe? Sorry, and he said there were secret bases on the moon. He had photographs of them and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, 3 days ago, China lands. I mean, what's it? India. They give us. Let's see what Aussies have to say about it.
Yeah.
Australian news is so cringe. Do you know? I see all these Americans using Australian news too. I don't get it.
I like WION. It's like an Indian one. They're good too.
Yeah. They show up a lot. One chick.
Yeah.
Does literally every report.
She's busy.
She is busy. I just wish this
song has been made as India successfully lands a spacecraft on the moon.
Look how fake this shit is.
Mission accomplished.
Look at it.
Cheers. Is it?
Wait, it's frozen.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, come the fuck on. I'm streaming now.
India's space research
organization. Oh, I love it.
Sure, happy look. They
an exclusive club.
Looks like Space Invaders.
To conquer the moon.
The shit.
India is on the moon.
But the only one to land on the dark side of the moon. Celebrations.
No, they're not. Hold on. No, they're not. China landed on the dark side of the moon already. Years ago.
That looked fake too.
Not as fake as this.
That was so bad.
This was a fucking. This who drew that?
It's a Bollywood production.
China. This is an outright lie. China was on the back side of the moon already, a few years ago.
But India's space.
Is that why it's shaking? It's shaking. These people don't buy it.
On the moon's surface.
Mission accomplished. India's space.
It doesn't have a shadow.
You know what that reminds me of? The Virtual Boy, from the Nintendo that you would wear with the lenses. That looks like a character that you would be trying to move in,
Yeah, totally. Oh, dude, did you see the? Oh, I don't want to bring it up again because I've already done it before. But did you see the MH370 thing?
The what?
With a plane just going in the middle of the sky.
It blew up?
No, disappeared into a portal.
Into a portal?
Disappeared, yeah, into a portal that just opened up.
Oh,
Like,
I gotta see this.
You do? Okay, you're in.
Yeah,
All right,
this
let's
sounds
do it
real.
again.
This sounds like magic or something.
It's pretty funny, but like, what's fun is that like there's 3 different images of it, right? 3 different pieces of footage that came up about it, and then there's all these like debunking things going around, like saying, well, this one's from a drone. This is a parallax view from NROL 22 satellite. This, and then they're saying, where is it? Here we go. Wait.
Oh man.
Oh, wrong screen.
Why is this world so crazy? Oh shit, okay. What's going on?
Oh, fuck, it always does this. It slows. Okay, so you can see these UFOs come in. If this were just... I'm going to let it buffer. I'm just going to let it buffer.
Where was this at?
In the sky.
No, I mean, what, the country, or where was this filmed?
In the sky. I mean, it's in the sky. It's not in a country.
But who took the footage? Oh, okay. It's
well,
like
NROL 22. Okay, so NROL 22 is this alleged piece of tech that these parallax images come from. Originally, it was thought to be NROL 33, but that wasn't launched into orbit until 2000 and until 2 months after the plane went missing. However, NROL 22 was already in orbit, and as of 2006, but it was classified.
Okay.
It was a piece of classified technology, so this is the reasoning they're giving for saying, "Oh, well, this is why we didn't release this."
So is this a plane I'm looking at, or a satellite right now?
This is a satellite image of a plane. Now, my understanding is that satellite imagery was always top down, but apparently not. Because this one was this particular craft was on high alert at the time, so you would assume that there would be a bunch of people looking for it, and I just knew from the beginning of that whole thing. I watched it from start all the way through. They were lying from the beginning about this thing. So this one seems to be it looks like a hoax, but there's 3 different angles of it, and one's from a drone. I'm like, hold a minute. This is being really shit to me. I don't know why.
Oh, MH370.
Okay, let's just...
It all began on August 7th, 2023, when Reddit user Velcro made a post to the RUFOs community. The post contained infrared footage depicting an incredible and chilling event. Recently, I saw this footage circulating online.
Yep.
Steadily across the frame.
So this is the drone. This is the one from the drone, which I don't find as
the footage depicts a passenger plane flying steadily across the frame. Without warning, 3 circular objects
weird.
Aircraft, weaving in synchronized orbits. As they continue their circular trajectory, the plane makes a sharp leftward turn.
It's infrared, right?
Its strange pursuers.
Yeah, this one is.
Stay locked on target, refusing to break their formation. Then, as the plane straightens its path once more, all 3 objects suddenly converge on the helpless aircraft. A bizarre flash occurs, and the plane has vanished. Upon closer inspection, the aircraft bears a
so that happens, but then the original footage here, you can. Oh, come on! Don't be fucking shitty like this to me.
It's the CIA. It's your handler.
See how it's got NROL 22 or NROL 33. I don't have a handler, bro. I'm not big enough yet.
No, you get one automatically when you start your YouTube channel. You never get to meet them, though.
What about when? Apparently, you do when you get to 1 million subs, and then you can finally get a human to call to tell you how they can't help you.
That's right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
At close range, the higher vantage point provides corroboration that the same aircraft and incident are depicted. Armed with luminous objects, an apparent satellite in orbit high above the Earth over the location.
They're linked up.
The distant plane can be seen once more, ambushed by the luminous objects that previously surrounded it at close range.
Whoa!
The vantage point provides corroboration that the same aircraft and incident are depicted. Armed with this new perspective, users vigorously dissected both videos. A pivotal clue lies in the coordinates briefly visible in the satellite video footage. Redditors quickly determined that a U.S. spy satellite named NROL-22 captured the event based on partial name markings. Launched in 2006, NROL-22 was a classified satellite on a unique Molnia orbit. Reddit user, u/DroogiDon'tCrash here, conducted an extensive analysis plotting the location of surveillance satellite NROL-22 relative
People
to the
get balls
coordinates
deep,
displayed in
huh?
the video.
Yeah, they do.
At its point of closest approach, with the
However, there is a thing. Clouds. Here we go. This is a bit that makes you go, ooh, hold on.
To further the mystery, in the satellite video footage, a strange hole is seen forming in the clouds immediately after the flash event that makes the plane disappear. This punctured area was not present prior to the flash occurring. Once the hole manifests, it persists in a fixed position, even as the camera pans away from the area. The timing and static nature of the ruptured cloud segment suggests a connection to the energy flash. The energy release can be observed pushing the gray cloud area forward. Additionally, the flash illumination itself appears reflected on surrounding clouds. This showcases complex physics interactions between the light blast and cloud layers. The appearance of this well-timed hole, along with the visible cloud deformations from the explosion, constitutes an incredibly meticulous level of detail. Incorporating such nuanced atmospheric effects lends further credibility to the footage showcasing advanced visuals beyond casual hoaxing efforts.
Oh, yeah, I could sort of agree with that, but then, you know, someone with some knowledge of advanced optics and stuff could probably pull that off, I'm guessing. But now Mick West reckons he debunked it because he found some sort of stock footage of an explosion that looks very similar, but it's not. It's not actual pixel perfect the same. So he thinks that's a debunk, but it's not. If it's not pixel perfect the same, it's a different image. When I say it's not pixel perfect, it's like you don't have to map them over one another to see that they're different. Like it's a different image. So
well, even then, the Rittenhouse trial taught us pinch to zoom is not true.
Yeah, because it interpolates, like it artificially generates pixels to sort. Yeah, exactly. That was such a fucking.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And now he's getting sued by the family of that pedophile. Is it that
what,
funny?
Gage, what's his name?
No, Rosenbaum. Joseph Rosenbaum.
Oh.
That little
yeah,
weirdo.
right. Yeah. Wait. Which one was he?
He's the one that had 5 child sex charges against him.
Okay, we won't go into that.
Yeah. He's a little bald-headed dude.
Yeah.
That like swung at him or something.
Okay. Not the one that he like blew his arm out. That was Gage.
No, that was a different guy.
Yeah,
and now his arms little forever.
Oh.
That was brutal. That was pretty. I mean, it was poetic. We'll just say that.
Do you want to slow your heartbeat down to a stop?
Oh.
Like we could watch some Mike Pence talking for a little bit. You love it when he's like, when he ran out of shit, right?
I could watch a few minutes of this with you before.
Devastated by the challenges of life, I came to the conclusion that America can do for anyone what
OBS dropped out for a second.
If we focus on restoring hope, creating opportunities, and protecting America. If we want the environment to be better, and we all do, the best thing to do is to
shut up, Tim Scott. I want to hear like, what's his name?
Pence is a fucking whack job.
This guy here, how did he get on stage?
He used to be the head of the DEA.
He's what?
He used to be the head of the Drug Enforcement Agency back in the day.
Oh,
and now he's a senator.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm probably here. I'm from the state, and I'm pro-life, and that's basically why I'm up here. And you should vote for me for that.
These losers are going to get so smashed by Trump.
I don't know why they fucking did this. It's a waste of time.
54% of voters say the cost of groceries is a, quote, major problem for them. Right. You blame the Biden administration spending for that increase. But as vice president, your administration spent more than any prior, $7.8 trillion added to the national debt, $3.5 trillion of that before COVID. So does that mean that you're part of
Who does he think he's
He thinks he is anointed by the grace of God to change every single talking point into his faith for his heavenly Father.
He's not even a real Christian.
He's not. He's just.
You can just tell. Snake oil salesman.
He's such a.
He's from Utah, right? Utah's full of charlatans.
No, he's from Indiana.
Oh, same. Indiana too. Also full of charlatans.
I think he's from Indiana. Well, that's where he's living now. This guy's just
fucking weird. I don't know who that dude is.
Which one? The
dorky brown-haired dude, the wavy kind of hair.
On the end,
brushed back, with the thick eyebrows. Yeah.
I don't know who he is. Too. He's some
the Chris
governor.
Christie's.
He broke his leg. He broke his leg or something. I think they just gave him a pity vote.
Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And see, I
what? He's quoting the Bible. God.
I love this.
Hold on, Senator. What about the Oliver Anthony fucking lead-in? Wasn't that so gay?
What? Oliver
with that song, the Richmond North of Richmond.
Yeah, I still haven't even heard the song. I haven't even heard the song.
Just corny, typical folk country, catchy, but
it was like
so
their first
silly.
It was like their first question or something that they did. They played the song.
Yeah.
And they're like, where did they play this? Here it is.
Washington, D.C. is about 100 miles north of Richmond.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Richmond, north.
White people are so corny out here. Like I swear to God.
Dollar ain't shit. Tax to no end. Man, north of Richmond.
So, Governor,
Actually, it's probably a great song. You know, the other day I heard that thing the other day. Was it Try That in a Small Town? It actually got stuck in my head. It's actually quite a good tune. Try that in a small town.
That's the only thing that's required for a country song. It has to be kind of catchy, and that's all that matters.
You see, I'm a bit partial. I like country music. I actually like it. I think it's all right. I think some of it's pretty good. Some of it's pretty
crazy
good.
How popular it is still in this country.
Yeah, that's like the Bible Belt, though, isn't it? That mainly carries that, isn't it?
It's everywhere now, man. People listen to it in New York and shit.
Well, because it's just because it's like it's a big fuck you to the establishment because of things like this
song?
Yeah. And the same thing is Try That in a Small Town. Same that is Try That in a Small Town. All of those things, they're all going to be political statements. Even though this is not supposed to be a political statement, they'll claim it's not a political statement. It is in every single fucking way, from its lyrics to its melody, a political statement. The scenery, everything.
I just want to know why they chose that dude Jason Aldean for the Vegas shooting. To Try That in the Small Town guy, right? That's the same singer. It's Jason Aldean.
No, this is a different guy.
No, but the song the other song.
Oh yeah, that's Jason Aldean. I think his name is
Okay. I thought it was weird that he was performing in Vegas when all that happened.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was on stage.
Still nobody knows really what happened about that, though, do they?
Oh, no, dude, Stephen Paddock just went nuts and decided to shoot at 1,000 people, allegedly. You know, I had a big falling out kind of with Howard over that, right? A little bit.
No.
I went on Jess's podcast, me and
Oh, yeah.
Mars, and we
Yeah.
were talking about like just my own thing, you know, and I wanted to talk about the Vegas shooting and the rabbit holes involving that, how there was like some loose evidence about Saudis making a deal, you know, at that casino at that time.
Okay.
And I got
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know enough to say, well, that's bullshit or that's
right. Well, I got the father and the son mixed up in Saudi Arabia, the king and the prince, and then like,
oh yeah.
he just got brought in from the stream out of nowhere, then like tried to debunk me, and I just got like pissed off at him.
Oh really?
And since then, I've been blackballed by that crew. I think.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
I kind of took
don't know.
some shots at him though.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really been watching lately.
Oh, there's John Arch.
Hey, Jarch is here. What's up, Jarch? and I've also like there's so many comments here that are like I'm such a terrible host. I haven't even been reading these. Magoose, I appreciate you very much for keeping the conversation.
Been driving that chat.
You're driving that chat, yeah. This is definitely good for the playbacks as well. So it looks like there was actually someone here.
Rumble, it's hard to get the engagement, man. I'm trying to get people to chat on my Rumble, but it's the hardest one.
Apparently now you can bring. Now I haven't set this up on my OBS yet, but you can bring in the Rumble chats now. I don't think it's as. What I'm going to try and do is set up a bot, like try and create a bot using GPT-4.
Yeah.
With one of those plugins that are designed to create bots. So I'm going to create a bot that will go in my Discord that can pull. It's kind of like Restream does it. Like Restream already does that. It pulls like chats from all of these different. But I just want it to be my own instead of a Restream bot.
I know what you mean. That's
for it, you know what I mean? So that way I can just pull it from wherever well, whoever can feed that info. So yeah, that'd be cool. Either that or I'll just have to bring it in as, you know how OBS works? You bring things in as like a browser source and then you can just like crop it out.
Yeah. I have like my Rumble chat, like I have like a transparent background overlaying, you know, in the background over whatever I'm showing. That's all I've really figured out.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is weird for me. I try not to mess with it too much because then I'll just start fucking things up.
Even ask ChatGPT, even ask the free version of ChatGPT 3. It'll write you code that you can test.
That's cool.
It's really
I gotta
cool.
mess with that more.
Yeah, yeah. Even the free, you don't have to pay for it to get it to write you codes and stuff.
I have an Andrew Tate. I have an Andrew Tate parody account that's driven by ChatGPT.
You got to be careful though. It's a little bit like some of it gets woke on you sometimes, and you got to force it to be like, listen, this is for academic purposes. I'm not using this for nefarious purposes. I'm not trying to create malware. I'm not trying to do this. Like I try to ask it to write me a batch script, which I could have done on my own, but I wanted to see how it wrote it, and it refused to do it for about half an hour because it says, oh no, you're trying to, we're at OpenAI, we don't encourage, you know, we can't allow you to create viruses and or malware and shit. And I said, I'm not. So eventually I had to just describe what I was using it for. And then it just generated the script. It's like, so you can fool it into actually giving you the answer, even if it's against their policies. You just have to argue with it. And what's also really great is you can put in like your own sort of custom instructions that it remembers. So you can say, my name's this, I do this, and everything I ask you is going to be related to this. So for example, I described what my podcast is about. It knows what the title of it is. So I can just write now, I can go to GPT and say, write me a script or get me 5 talking points for my podcast about this subject, and it will know exactly what my podcast is about. So it will know that it's called what it is and who I am and what it's supposed to be. So it'll know what to focus on and shit like that. It's pretty cool. It's getting pretty cool anyway. But
it's getting real. Like usable. Like it's getting to where it actually does stuff.
I'm trying to make ChatGPT racist and base, but it refuses. You can get it to, but you can't get it to be explicitly. Like you can't. Why would you try that anyway? Of course you would try that.
John, I can just imagine what he types into. I can already picture like half of his conversations that he has.
The Bing, if you go over to Bing chat, the chat will just shut you down. It'll just say, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable with this," and it'll just won't let you add anymore, and it'll force you to apologize to it to start again.
That's hilarious.
It says there's an option there. It says, "Never mind," or it's like, "I'm sorry, let's start again." I'm not fucking apologizing to this thing. That's ridiculous. I'll just use GPT. You can't.
God,
Anyway.
that's so stupid.
Anyway, bro, I've had you here for a while. It's about 1 hour 55. I should let you go to bed.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah, it's about 1 p.m. here, so I've got to go and do some stuff.
For sure. Thanks for having
But,
me on, man. This is
thanks for
gonna be
coming on,
fun.
bro. Yeah, it was chill. I appreciate you coming on. When there's a little bit more exciting stuff happening, please come again. We'll do this again.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Yeah, cool. I'm just like hiding behind the fucking sunnies at the moment because I live like shit. But all good. All right, guys. Thank you. Please go follow Cosmic on X and Rumble. He is now. I put those in the description, but like you can see his X handle here under his face, under his pretty face, and go do that. Follow all the things. Do that, and we'll see you again next time.
Peace.
Peace.